Hey, what's up guys, Chris Salim here, and today I have something very special for you. Some of you have asked me to do some videos on mixing vocals, and this is what I'm going to do today. Actually, even better, I am starting a new series. It's going to be like a 6-part video series on mixing vocals, and this one is called Mix Your Vocals, and this is episode number 1. Now, throughout this series, we're going to talk about automation, compression, EQ, delay, saturation, reverb, and so on. But for this first episode of Mix Your Vocals, we're going to cover automation. But first, if you're new here on this channel, consider subscribing and click that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And for all of you, please share and like this video. All right, so let's jump in. All right, so now let's have a quick listen to the mix we're going to be working on today.
It's my condition, my complication. There's something in me out of position. It's no intention, this condescension. I'm seeing clearly my imperfections.
All right, so this is a song from myself, my good friend Jimmy, and Rex Verzosa, who is the lead vocal on this track. We did the production of that song maybe 5 years ago, so I decided to just bring back the tracks, remix the entire thing, and maybe add a few keyboards and stuff like that. And now I'm just remixing the song, and I'm almost done with the mix, but not quite yet. Now my vocal mix is again almost done, but I still have some tweaking to do, but it gives you a good idea on where I'm going with this. So now let's go back to the beginning of that vocal mix, and I'm going to show you step by step what I did to get to the point that I am right now. Now, what I usually do when I start to work with a vocal is to do volume automation. And the goal is very, very simple. The reason why I do so is to avoid having too much of a dynamic signal going into the first compressor. Sometimes you don't need to do much, but in some other cases, you need to work a lot more to get a more stable and more leveled out signal before hitting the compressor. This way, your vocal will sit better in the mix and compression will sound more smooth and natural. So this is why I use volume automation before hitting the first compressor. Now, you're going to ask me, why don't you use the regular channels fader to do so? Now, using the channels fader is something I do at the end of the mix, okay? When I'm done with all my plugins, my insert and sends effects. Then afterwards, I can do some tweaks by adding some automation directly on the channels fader. But before I get to this point when I start, it is way better to do this before you hit the first plugin in your chain, because using the channels mixer will automate the entire signal path of your track. And this is not what I want to automate right now. So let's go into the inserts, and I'm going to show you 3 different things you can do here to automate your the level of your vocals before hitting the first compressor. So first, you can use a plugin like the Waves vocal writer that I have right here. This is a plugin that I work with when I need to, and it works very well, very, very simple to use. What it does is automatically it does ride the fader for you. So let's have a quick listen and look on how Vocal Writer reacts to what I have here according to the settings I have set up on the plugin itself.
It's my condition, my complication. There's something in me out of position.
Okay, now I'm not going to do a tutorial on this plugin, but it's only to show you how that plugin works. Once you're happy with your Vocal Writer settings, you can write the automation directly on your automation lane. So there you go. This is what I did here. And if I just click on read and click on read on the plugin itself, this is what I'm going to get.
It's my condition, my complication. There's something in me.
Okay, so it did some automation directly on the automation lane. So this is one way you can do so by using a plugin like Vocal Writer from Waves. Now, another very cool way you can do this in Cubase anyways, and probably in some other DAWs, is to do it manually directly within your DAW. So I'm going to select in the automation lane, the input filter section. There's a pre-gain automation option here that you can select from. And this will give you access to the pre-gain of your channel. Okay, so you can automate the pre-gain of this channel. So if I click here on the channel settings of my vocal track, I see here the gain here, which is the pre-gain level, and this is what I want to automate. So I'm just going to bring this larger, and I'm going to listen to what I have. I'm going to deactivate Vocal Writer and check. I think on this part, we have some peaks that I want to work on. Okay, so let's have a quick listen.
Out of position, it's no intention.
I'm just going to bring the vocal louder so we can hear it better.
Out of position, it's no intention.
Okay, the word out is a bit louder than what follows. And same for the next one, the next word.
It's no intention.
Okay, the no of it's no intention. Okay, no is, again, peaks a bit more than the rest. So we're going to just level balance that by selecting the range selection tool. I'm going to go down to my input pre-gain automation lane, click on read, and there you go. I already did some automation right here. So I'm just going to remove what I did and redo this with you guys. So by selecting the range selection tool, I can just directly on the automation lane select the part I want to lower down and just go on top and bring this down. That's simple. I'm going to do the same for this part. And let's have a quick listen to what we have.
Out of position, it's no intention. Something in me, out of position.
Okay, that's way better. Maybe a bit too much. So I'm just going to bring that back just a bit.
Something in me, out of position. It's no intention.
Okay, now the no from no intention is way more balanced, okay? So this is the kind of stuff I do in this case. Now, you can also work directly on the events if you wish to, okay? So let's have a quick listen here.
I'm seeing clearly my imperfection. I see that I...
Okay, so let's do the same here. I'm going to click on the range selection tool, select that part that I want to lower down, click on Shift and X. That will split this selection into its own event, and I can just select it and bring it down. Okay, that's simple.
My imperfection.
Okay, now the entire pre-chorus is loud, and I already brought it down. Originally, this is what it sounded like.
My imperfection. I see that I don't know why I...
Okay, so I just selected the entire thing and brought everything down.
My imperfection. I see that I don't know why I...
Okay, and if you notice right below, okay, if we go back to my pre-gain automation, right here, I did some automation on the second line right here.
I see that I...
The I was pretty loud, and the C was like not well balanced level-wise. So I did bring it up quite a bit, and now it sounds way more balanced.
My imperfection. I see that I don't know why I...
So this is how I manage automation before compression. Now, I don't go super crazy about this. I just fix the major problems before my signal hits the compressor. The compressor will still do some dynamic control, but it's going to sound way more smooth and more natural. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments or questions, please leave everything down below, and don't forget to share, to like, and to subscribe to this channel if you're new here. Don't forget to join me on the second part of this video series, Mix Your Vocals. See you then.